Hi, welcome to this week's Fundraising Friday. Last week we talked about making that initial screening call to an individual donor to set up a meeting. This week we're going to talk about setting up that initial meeting with a corporate or foundation representative. Well, there's many similarities in the fact that you want to identify yourself, be very clear about your intention, and listen to what they have to say. There are also some differences. Remember that a representative, a corporate or foundation grant office, it's their job to give away money. And it's their job to make sure that they can find the organizations who are going to best fit their mission with the money that they give. So it's a little bit easier, and they're also used to working with fundraising professionals and having these kinds of conversations. The first thing you want to do again is to identify yourself very clearly. Hi, my name's Linda Weston. I'm calling from Organization X. Second of all, let them know what drew you to call them. I was looking in your guidelines and I saw that you fund education programs. We provide education programs in the community, and I wondered if you had a minute when I could come and meet with you to talk about some of the programs that we're doing within this community. You also, if they're not a local foundation, might want to just talk to them over the phone to get a feel for whether or not traveling to meet with them makes sense. In that case, it might be something like, we provide educational programs in our community, and I wondered if you might have a couple minutes when I could share with you some of our programs to see if they might be a good fit within your guidelines. Notice I said to see if they're a good fit within your guidelines, not to see whether or not you would fund them. They won't tell you whether or not they will fund them, because oftentimes the person you talk to isn't the decision maker, so he or she can't make that promise, and they don't want to even imply that they will fund a particular program. So do they fit within your guidelines? From there, you want to listen very carefully. I found that most corporate foundation people will not say, no, that's not a fit, do not apply. Instead, they'll say something like, we never don't recommend someone apply. We always encourage people to apply. In which case, I will usually follow up with, but you're telling me that my chances of success are very low. In which case, they will often say, yes. And then you say, I appreciate that. You don't want to waste your time writing something that isn't going to be funded, or their time having to read something that they're just going to put in the reject pile. Listen to what they say. Sometimes you'll have an opportunity to discuss your project in more detail. Sometimes you'll have an opportunity with some who will help you kind of figure out what's the best fit with that funder. At the end, always thank them very much for their time. Make note of any follow-up, and then follow up, or take them off your list if they're not a good funder. That's this week's Fundraising Friday. Thanks. Have a great weekend.